Hey, what's up, y'all? We are here today just doing some boss hunts. It's been a minute since I did a stream just on boss hunts, but I actually wanted to kind of use it as a build guide as we talk through a few different builds that are being used for War of the Chosen. So, I'm going to type in chat. I think we're gonna go clips. Oh, you think so? Can we do both? Let's see here, 12, 13. Only 1 minute apart. Let's go ECL. All right, so I want to start off today talking about hey Harmony. You're probably my only viewer right now, so not a lot of people. I want to start off today talking about build because I feel like recently have made you yeah, that is this bet right now. Yep. Sharing tips from what I know. And I would really appreciate it if some other people I know jumped on and shared some tips too. But yeah, I'm talking build today. We're talking about what I'm currently running for WOC. And then on top of that, oh hey, what's up, Fluffy? He will streaming eating krill. Well, I'm not a whale. So I think that's kind of funny, but so from what I know, I'll start with my build. There's been a lot of progress on it. I'm really excited about it. You're gonna see it without stats today because I'm not gonna have time to go back and forth, but I may use some of these clips for a YouTube video talking about build explanation. So what I'm really excited about is unlocking all 3 purple talismans at this point that makes us really versatile as a gypsy. So we've got the Core of Strauf now, which is all about being a full support gypsy in PvP. I really feel like this has changed how I play. It's changed the type of people that I can have on my team and the amount of impact I can have at GVG and arcade as well. It's a huge item. We'll talk more about it on a YouTube video, but definitely recommend. And you know, when you think about a gypsy, I think that the common question C people will ask you is, what type of gypsy do you want to play? Do you want to be a DPS? Do you want to be a semi-support? Or do you want to be a full support? And I think that these 3 talismans really emulate that question. You know, depending on your type of build, you can use these 3 talismans to kind of fit into each of those slots. For the full support, you would definitely want to go the Core of Strauf in the talisman slot. For the semi-support, you could technically do both. You could technically do any of the 3, but I think most would probably go with a Crown of Night Spirit or a Crown of Osiris to get a little bit more DPS, and then you can use your accessory slots to kind of see whether you're going more Vit or AGI for more damage there. And then finally, the AGI talisman, to me this is one step below the pen talismans that you can use as a gypsy, except in the case of boss hunts. And really depending on the DPS on your squad, maximizing your AGI can make a big difference for how strong your chaos is and how strong your team is hitting. So anyways, really excited right now to have all 3 to kind of talk about in a future YouTube video. I've really only made like 2 YouTube videos, but the most common question I get for gypsy builds is, hey, which of these 3 what talisman should I be using? White, blue, purple, gold. And my strong preference at this point is the purple talismans for sure. I like all 3 of them for different reasons. I actually use all 3 of them depending on whether I'm AFK, I'm boss hunting, or I'm PvP. So really, it's made a really big difference. I feel like I can play with almost anyone in PvP just with enough fit at this point. So yeah, that's my Vit build. I'm not going to show, you can see stats. They're nothing right now just because I don't have all my gear transferred over since we're going boss hunt. So since we've got a clown with us, I'm not going to be the perfect boss hunt build because I think the perfect boss hunt build, you do have more AGI if you've got really good DPS with you. But this is still a pretty good, I think, boss hunt build, prioritizing damage and AGI. In fact, just for the boss hunt, I did put AGI on the weapon instead of my usual final P damage bonus, just to help sharpshooter here get a bit more DPS. But some people are on, you probably don't care about gypsy guides as much as my few YouTube followers. So feel free to hit it up with questions. I think most of you are probably on to talk about War of the Chosen. Please hit it up in chat if you have any bets that you think are good. I'll give you my sleeper pick, which stems from chatting with a couple of different people at this point. But the first person I chatted with about this was from Gato. Their guild leader, Makla, got to give him credit. We chatted about this morning, and I think it's a solid pick. But obviously there's risk in any of these picks. I'm putting this on live. This is not financial or betting advice. So take it with some caution, right? These are some metals that actually you can really use to your benefit for Gethans. So yeah, just be cautious with those bets. What's been confirmed to me by C players, and that you should know if you're going into betting, is the higher amount of risk, the higher amount of reward here, right? So, for example, I think that Groot is the #1 favorite to win this tournament. I'll tell you that, I don't think anyone should doubt that. They were the best in pre-seeding. I think no matter how much Islud is improving, it's really hard to catch up to where these guys are at. They have such a solid comp. Their final 5 right now is the best KVM WOC team by far, in my opinion. And who knows, people can always will and catch up. But I'm using them as an example because, as you can see here, 100% had bet for them, 0% for anticipate. I believe that this is going to work out as it did in C, which is you're going to get points stealing from the team that bet against you, right? So what that means is, if people don't really bet for anticipate here, you shouldn't anticipate a large return on your bet for Groot. And just to test this, you can see I put a couple coins for Groot tonight. I anticipate getting just 2 coins back. I don't actually think you're going to get much here. It's similar to if you're ever in auction wars with someone and there's an obvious winner going up for an item. You can place your 10,000 crystals on that person and you're only going to get 10,200 in return, right? So that's very similar, I think, to what we'll see here tonight for War of the Chosen in round 1. So let's talk about some riskier bets, right? In bracket 1, I mean, I'm gonna always give a little bit of a hedge towards my own guild here. So I won't be talking about any uninstalled guilds play. My favorite pick at this moment is in bracket number 2. Once you get to the quarterfinal round here, or the next round, I really like Team Bunny. And again, this comes from chatting with several people, but it comes from fighting Team Bunny as well, and more specifically fighting this sniper here, Jojo. Jojo is a really strong sniper. If you've been against her, you'll notice that you don't live long, right? You're pretty much deleted in the first 2 seconds. But not just that. Look at that dex, 2,800. There's only 2 dex items there, right? There's not a third, there's not a dex talisman. And on top of that, you have 842 vitality. This is not a glass cannon. This is a tank. This is a tank firing firing high damage missiles, and it's very hard to take down. So it's not a big upset here in round one. This to me is like an upset pick for the bracket. I think that Bunny does have a shot going against Ghost Project, and that's a big if, right? But JoJo is the X factor. So when it comes to that match, it's going to be all decided, I think, very early on by whether or not this team, Ghost Project, locks down JoJo. JoJo, you might say, oh, well, they have a wizard, they have a cross assassin, they have a gypsy, they can get to JoJo right away. I don't think that's the case. I think JoJo has her own CC supporting her, right? She has this gypsy whose number one job will be to keep her free hit. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think that it will be decided in the very first few seconds of each round as to whether or not they lock down JoJo, because if they don't, JoJo will delete the team. I think no matter how tanky almost anyone is, JoJo's got the damage to take down the best of them. So that's my sleeper pick. And you know, it's risky. So if you wanna avoid it altogether and just go for safe picks, because it's, you know, a lot of crystals on the line, that's totally makes sense too. Yeah, I think the top picks other than that are pretty straightforward. I'm on the team uninstall. We will not be throwing, I promise you. we plan to play to win. You get about 10,000 crystals, or sorry, 10,000 medals, I believe, each round that you win. And so there's not a lot of incentive for anyone to throw, right? If you can only bet 6,000, I'm pretty sure that the max you can get on a loss is 10,000 or less after taxes. And so I wouldn't worry about people throwing. You know, you definitely could get like really schemy about it, and someone could purposefully throw, but I think when there's a possibility of moving on to the next round, that I don't think people are going to be doing that. Hey, what's up, Isco? Yeah, of course. You can see my enchants right now are going to be very different than my enchants when I'm in PvP. Right now, it's pretty much all AGI, right? Like when you look at armor, when you look at these accessories, it's all AGI. Right now, I'm 10, 11, 11. I'm almost cracked 12 on both accessory and armor, but I'm not there yet. Weapon will follow suit. I really prioritize tankiness and main stat just for boss hunt and for PvP. So I know I'm not a whale. Like I've spent a little bit of money where I see there's a lot of value to be had. But yeah, overall I do the AGI percentage. I think my last one is not full AGI percent yet, so there's still room to grow there. But you know, I think having some base AGI is pretty good. My tip on Geffins, to be honest, is you shouldn't do Geffins until you really shouldn't do Geffins until your base stat is around the 1800 mark, is where I start to see the trade-off. Because anything less than that, you're actually maybe getting more from a Prontera raw stat enchant, and obviously it's just so much cheaper, so much easier to hit. So you could spend, you know, 1 million crystals and get 1 white percentage enchant from Geffins. Now granted, it's great because when you do any sort of enchanting, you're still leveling up, you're moving towards the next level, so it's less risky, I'd say, than like a refine. Oh, there we go, we got the battle drum and the eternal chaos to pop. Oh, but Harmony, turn it off. Oh, we're still rocking. I need my full list of buffs to make sure I have them all going. I think Harmony went out of range. Anyways, so yeah, it's all AGI. My armor, if we didn't get the chance to go through that before this boss hunt started Disco, but it's all AGI. That's raw AGI for boss hunts. So you're just going for as many purples, and yeah, don't change before then. It's very minimal. Like you could try and start, but honestly, by the time you get all percent, you're going to level enchant like a few levels too. And at that point, like, the percentages are better, right? Like, I have yet to see a gold AGI or a gold VIT, because now I'm starting to think about percentage VIT for my PvP build. And yeah, like a level 11, it's like 5%, right? That's better than any exclusive effect on like a gold equipment item. So I really do think enchants are the way to go in terms of leveling. And but yeah, don't go Geffins too soon is my perspective. So mostly battle drum here. Anytime I see just battle drum up, I will cancel the buff and I'll go chaos. I think my chaos in this build is not super high. In fact, I might need to change my shadow equipment, because last time I boss hunted, I was kind of prioritizing my own damage. Let's just check it real quick. Yeah, so we got to change this over. If there's any proof I'm not a full whale, it's probably my SE level. Besides, I've failed to, yeah, my SE's only SE 5 right now. But yeah, chaos right now, I think I'm gonna have to turn down graphics here, guys, sorry. Let's see, I think we're at 130%. Where'd it go? Turn it off. Anyways, yep, all AGI on the enchants, and even right now on my weapon. My DPS is better with final P damage on my weapon, but if I have a good DPS like Sharp, and I can boost my AGI even by another like 200, that's a pretty good final P damage boost for my DPS to use. Harmony likes to play pretty close, so I gotta remember to stay close to my clown here. Sorry guys, it's pretty laggy today actually. So I'll mess with my graphics after Eclipse. Maybe we'll close some apps too. I'm literally streaming from my phone today. Just getting done with a Friday work day. You have way too many apps up. That's probably the difference. All right. Yeah, no, it looks like it's just us. I say Devi. But I'll listen. Let's see. Still pretty slow. Just picking up pace a little bit here. Yeah, I would love to hear other. So I threw out my sleeper pick for a deep run in WOC. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If there's any other teams that you think I can go over a couple more matchups. Other than that, I start to become pretty uneducated. I do watch other streams, but it's hard for me to follow. Like, sometimes I'm like, wait a second, there's a bunch of name changes. People are changing their names. Yeah, people are changing their, I don't know their team names. I would say TP Ed. Let's see who's after Ed, because usually you got Crack after Ed. Yeah. I say Walk Ed. TP Toad, maybe. Or TP Ed, Walk, Crack, then Toad. There we go. We got both up here. Let's check chaos really quick. So that's 128.5% final P damage bonus right now with the focus on AGI. Hey, what's up, Dorayaki? I am on the Treasure Island server. Or sorry, Treasure Ship server. I think that you definitely can argue that it's one of the top 3 servers, right, in the world. You got Islude, which I would say has the sheer quantity, like the most number of whales overall. I think you got Southgate that's got some really strong teams, and then I think you've got Treasure Ship, which Treasure Ship has the strongest team in the tournament, and the strongest guild, I would say, overall, just barely. They won the last crossover KVM, and I'm in the 2nd highest guild on Treasure Ship. I help run recruiting and the good stuff for uninstall, which we have 3. Did we have 3 of the? No. Oh yeah, we got bumped out, but we our server does have 3 of the top 5 teams in War of the Chosen, and I'm on the 2nd highest team on the server there. Yeah, strongest guild here is Privacy. And that's going to be like led by someone named Lobo, but the names you'll know from Privacy are Neps, Foamy, Joey Free to Play, Valitech, and Adeline. Those are their strongest 5. So they're good. They're really good. It's fun when they go. I remember watching them play Big Mac the first time, and there's a funny clip from that match where somebody says something like, "I got Foamy, like I'm gonna kill Foamy." They said, like, "Just get the gypsy off me, like get the gypsy off me, I can kill Foamy." And then like the next scene, they go through the fight, and the guy just whispers like, "I can't kill Foamy." So Foamy's big, and playing Foamy, so that's my main job in I think Edgar's just not much of a walk, so I'm gonna walk Ed, and then we'll TP. Just double check the timer on Toad. 3 minutes. Yeah, what if we walk Ed, save the TP for Toad? That's what we'll do. No, it's been great. I actually really enjoyed having Foamy and Neps on server here. They're like my main responsibility when it comes to GVG and arcade, right? Because I'm a gypsy, and I'm probably, Neps and Foamy, both really tough. Neps can pretty much 2-shot anyone on our server, except unless you're just like a huge tanky pally, that's your whole thing. And my goal is to like be 3-shot by Neps. That's like my next barrier, my next metric for success. But Foamy's big too. And yeah, it's my job during AA to find mostly Foamy, because my stuns work best against Foamy. But to try and track him down and just try not to die. Wink him as much as I can. But he's a big boy, and he knows that the gypsies are targeting him, so he's got some pretty good debuff resistance as well. Alright. Do we even have time for crack? Let's check it out. 40 seconds to crack. I'm gonna TP crack. Yeah. Cancel battle drum. Get EC up. Now we TP crack. And I won't just say it's Nep's stats. Like, Nep's is smart about his build, right? Like, there's some people that just have dummy level stats, but they're actually like not doing a ton with them. Like, I've seen people with like 4.5K of their main stat, and they don't hurt as much as Neps does with 3K of his main stat, right? He uses it well. He's well above that 3K now, but Ian, there's Harmony coming. I'm silly. I haven't even been checking my rankings, so let's see how we're doing. Sharp got MVP. We're top three right now. It's pretty good. It's just about keeping Sharp in the EC. So chaotic. It's so chaotic on screen. But yeah, tell me, I'd love to know if y'all have any other good sleeper picks for WOC. Oh, we are out of Leafs. To me, Team Bunny's a good one. I'm not delusional thinking our team's going to win it all, but I do think we're going to have... I'll let you in. Like, these guys are my friends, so I'm not trying to trash talk anyone. Let's be clear there. But I'm really excited for a potential matchup with the Dino's bunch. I think that they've beat us, we beat them. They beat my KVM team every time now. But for WOC, I'm not on my KVM team. I'm paired up with a couple Krakens. I don't know why they put me with them. Oh, geez. I'm dying left and right team here. No, I don't think they do. I don't think anyone has a chance against Foamy, to be honest. But that's some bias because I'm on their server. I fight them all the time. Now, you know, the only chance a team has against Foamy, and this is just being brutally honest, is like if they wail and don't tell anyone, right? So if they... right before the tournament, they spend, and I wouldn't say thousands, I would at this point say tens of thousands of dollars to catch up to Neps and Foamy. It's just the reality. Or like Powerball level RNG, I guess. Like with refines and gold and chance and the works. That's the only way someone I think can beat Foamy's team. They're well comped. Yeah, dang it. They're just really well comped. They're just really tough to beat. And yeah, they're all Krakens, right? That entire 5 squad. I think Jay's a baller. I just don't think they can. Yeah, typing kills. Yeah. I just don't think they can. Anyone can catch up to Neps and Foamy for this round of WOC, right? Maybe next round. Like there's even talks. I've talked to 2 teams in the top 3 or top 4 that, yeah, it does make you wonder. Here I am, I'm like hiding out on a Friday afternoon from like the rest of my work. You know, it's probably real estate. A lot of them are in real estate, I think, where they don't have to do that much. They just own a portfolio of properties and make money from it. And then, you know, what are you going to spend the money on if you've already got a home or car? Why not go big on RO? So I think that's what quite a few of them do, actually. Ooh, just snuck over to Toad. We're not going to be top 10 here. Let's see. 9, snuck it in. All right, I have not been paying attention. I've been ranting too much. Let's see what we got. Mastering it is. I might have time for a quick buy some Leafs. Yeah. Just because you can, right? The funny thing is too is like I've met a couple of these people and they leave their account and I'm like, why don't you sell your account even if you can only get 20% of the value you put into it? Like, why don't you sell it? And they're like, oh, I might pick it up again. But like this game, if you pick it up 2 months later, you're like way behind. I won't name any names here, but I know an account that probably spent $100K on that account. It was a massive whale. It was the biggest whale on a server, and the person quit after about a month and a half or 2 months of the game after spending $100K. So they had every MVP card you could want. Their stats were crazy. They were pretty spec'd for PvE, but not spec'd for PvP, and that's what I think kind of frustrated them. Hey, ผมไม่ได้บอกนะ มาซาลีผมไม่ได้พูดอะไรนะ คุณพูดเอง but a lot of people, sorry, I also speak Thai, so if you have any Thai streamers or any Thai viewers on, what's up? But yeah, so, and then the account's just sitting there, right? Just like not progressing, losing value, where they could have sold at the time for a lot more. Yet me. Dorayaki, is that Thai in Romanized English? Or do you speak Japanese? Nihongo hanasemasu ka? Yeah, no, Levetzi, I feel that. Because I'm like, dude, like I actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to admit stuff like this, but I knew somebody who had to quit, and just because of the timeliness of it, they couldn't stick around and sell. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Levetia. And then, the account gets like negative crystals, and then it's unplayable, right? So then they can't sell it. So there's that too. Don't get me wrong, I've spent some money on this game, but I'm a pretty strategic spender. I don't like to spend on something unless I really know it's going to benefit my team or my character. So, like for example, there's a couple cards in this event right now that I think are actually pretty good for a gypsy, but they're not perfect. And I think when I look at the research from like JPN or C, there's slightly better cards in that slot. Oh. Now I know what you're saying. Yeah. Now that you say it like that, Marceli, I'm like, oh, okay. I know. Kunพูดอะไรนะ แม่ Yeah. The traps, bro. I call it my trap lord gypsy setup. And don't get me wrong, the traps are like, to be honest, the traps are, I'll talk about it when I talk about my gypsy build. The traps are maybe like the lesser importance of the build. Like the main importance is charge arrow and wink, obviously. But yeah, yes, no, literally you have them in your trap house. I call it my trap house. When I got someone in my trap house, they're not allowed to leave. And so, but yeah, charge arrow and wink are going to be the most important there. So make sure, right, when those are off cooldown that you're using them. But the traps are such a nice plus too. That immobilize hits for, and just a tip, Levetia, if on the weapon, if you're not doing any damage, put debuff enhancement and penetration on your weapon, right? Because the higher debuff enhancement is, the longer your traps are actually going to hold. Your immobilize will go for like a few more seconds if you have a high enough debuff enhancement on it. So like my charge arrow on someone with 0 debuff enhancement right now goes from a 5-second stun. Oh, we got a guilty, got a drop. Nice. Oh no, Stallion was a guildie. Maybe there's a name change, actually. Second, look at this. We're killing it, right? We're in second place. Psych. First place is just one person. X-Bree. X-Bree's a baller. Yeah, really work on that debuff enhancement. And debuff pen is if your wink and your charge arrow just aren't hitting at all, it's because your debuff pen isn't high enough. If they're hitting but they're not hitting for long, then it's a debuff enhancement problem. So those are the two stats I'm focused on. I'll go higher. I just got blue rolls on them right now for PvP. But yeah, if you're fighting someone SE8 right now, it's really hard to... Yeah, that is the Stallion. Just changed her name. Sweet. Jeezy. That's someone from our guild. Oh, I'm not... Oh, it hasn't popped up yet. These are just... There we go. Yeah. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's all... The thing about debuff res that sucks, though, right? The, like, big trade-off is you become less tanky with the debuff res on because you're sacrificing... You're sacrificing, like, a Geffen or a Demi slot. Oh, that makes sense. What's up, Adam? We just chatting away. I've just been talking trash on our... No, I'm just kidding, Jen. Thanks for the sub. Oh, Quasi's a baller. Quasi, I don't know if you saw this. I stopped streaming GVG. My baby started crying halfway through GVG. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you can, Lebedia. You totally can. Like I've told you, I'm not a big spender. I would qualify myself as like a tuna fish, right? I don't know if I'm a full dolphin, but I'm a tuna fish. I think most people would honestly say I'm a dolphin, and that's fine. But it just depends on your definition. But I can play, like I'm on a team with 4 Krakens because the Gypsy class is actually a relatively low spend class for some pretty high effectiveness. So you can be a free to play Gypsy and have good impact surrounded by dolphins and whales. Like they'll get so upset with you, right? If they don't have good CC and you just trap them in your trap house, then they can get pretty upset. And Quasi, yeah, back to Quasi, Maselli. There was the end of a GVG. It was right as I was becoming like using my tank build. It was before I got the Core of Strath too, so I wasn't like full tank, but I was testing it out. I walked into like enemy city, just me without my guild, and just wanted to see like how many people I could have on me without dying. And I was doing pretty good. I had like 4 or 5 people on me, and Quasi teleported me back to like where everyone was on the first floor of that castle. And I immediately got like gangbanged by like 30 people after his teleport. And he PM'd me after. He's like, Heart, make me famous, man. Did you get that on stream? And I had just closed it because I had to go take care of my baby. And I was like, oh shoot, dog. It would have been sick to have it too. Like I forgot about the stalker teleport skill. I forgot they could do that. And so that was super sick. But Quasi, any close dagger stalker, honestly, is super underrated. Everyone talks about hating gypsies, and for good reason. You know, gypsies like pretty broken. That the wink, yeah, poor me. Jing jing, jing jing. But yeah, everyone talks about how broken the wink is, and it is. Like it's a great skill, and we have other skills too. But the dagger stalker and their close confine and their teleport, like they have some really cool CC. Not to mention that third job, the stalker really takes off. But so does Gypsy. So I'm always a huge advocate for people trying out the Gypsy class. Obviously, you're not, your big daddy DPS. But you are like a really valuable member to your entire guild, I think, as a gypsy. I think people that play DPS gypsy, I just think you have to pay a lot. You have to be really ahead of the game to do like a ton of damage. Yes, I agree, Lavetia. I agree. If there's people watching this and they're like, what's third class gypsy? Third class gypsy is really nice. Any of those ensemble skills that we can perform with a clown, we'll be able to do solo. And so you're like, oh, you're going to be running Eternal Chaos doing tons of damage in PvP. And actually, we won't, because there's an even better ensemble skill coming for us. That third class, we've got, yeah. You have to, to do damage as a DPS gypsy, you got to pay a lot, or be really lucky again. Let me make sure I'm not missing any bosses here as I'm yapping. I think it's just D-Fly. Oh no, it's Angel. Glad I checked. Thanks, Woo. You're listening to me. You're helping me out. I'll give you a little shout out here. Thanks, Woo. Yeah, Lucifer. Adam Woo in chat is, or I should just say Lucifer, my boy. Got my back. What's funny about our group right now, Woo, is Lucifer, is Harmony was actually a friend of mine. Before, this is actually the second Harmony. So the first Harmony was All-Star PH, which All-Star PH merged with Uninstall. And so then there was a minute where I was friends with that Harmony. That Harmony then had a gypsy on a different server, I think like Moonyak Cave or something. And the gypsy got a gold whip drop like super early on. And so Harmony sold their clown account here and went to a different server. And then the person who bought Harmony was a privacy member. So then Harmony went to privacy, and all of a sudden I was fighting Harmony all the time, where like the week prior, like we were AFK farming together, So funny how accounts trade hands and stuff like that. But yeah, I think as a gypsy, it's not that you're wasting your potential going DPS, because again, you can, if you are DPS, it's not just about the single target damage you can do, right? You're doing a lot of multi-target damage, and that's super helpful in GVG, Abyssal Arcade, or KVM. So like if you crack the code as a DPS gypsy, that's great. You'll tear it up. But I do feel like your value is a little bit higher, or that ceiling is just like higher as a full support gypsy. And anyone I've talked to from the C servers has said the same thing, which is just like, if you want to go PvP focused, full sub gypsy is the way to do it. I mean, if you're PvE focused, then you really should focus AGI in your damage, because you're just like boosting as high as you can. And on top of that, you want to do the DPS yourself. But for me, I really like PvP. I think PvP and like teamwork is kind of the funnest part of the game, right? And so I think it makes sense for me to go full sup. And there are instances where you'll want to do semi-support because your team still does need some damage, right? So like running one vitality accessory and an AGI talisman and an AGI, or a pen talisman and an AGI accessory makes sense. So yeah, totally, Liveria. I think so too. And I think Gypsy's a great class, like no matter what you decide. Some people really do want the DPS, and I'm good on them. Like, I'm not gonna steer them away. I would just tell them that their ceiling is probably higher as a tank, And then the thing I haven't mentioned yet is team comp matters too, right? Like if you only have one person on your team that does the damage, then you might need to do some damage. But if you have 2 DPS or 2.5 DPS, like 2 good damage dealers and like a third that can dish out some, you're not needed as a DPS. Like go full tank, like clear them up, let them free shoot, you know? That's, I think that's a big metric for success. So I'll show you my, and that's why I think my WOC team is in a good spot. Again, I don't want to be overconfident. Like we're not going to win the tournament. Totally good with that. Unless someone on my team just goes full Kraken, but it's not going to be me. Oh, that's really interesting, Lavetia. I have not theory crafted Venom Dust at all. I'm still rocking, I'm rocking Freeze and, oh my goodness, what's it? Vital Burn on my pet. But I may swap it up. We may do a little bit of theory craft in here in WOC. So yeah, I do the vitality reduce though. It's just my AGI in my tank build is about 400, so it's not like a huge reduction, right? Who's crit buffing? Vilcup crit buffing someone? That's actually a buff that I think is pretty underused when you BH, if you're solo. The crit buff is pretty interesting. Oh shoot, I had freaking wind arrows on for all of Angel. I honestly opened this up to talk more about build and WOC than boss hunts. Some of you guys are like, oh, like he sucked at like showing his boss hunt builds. I'm sorry. I figured people would want to chat about WOC, and then I'm trying to make a video eventually on Gypsy builds. So yeah, the crit damage buff is big, because if you think about it, you've got Oh, sweet. I actually hadn't done the math there on the guaranteed gold. Do you think Sharp? What's Sharp saying? Let's double check Angel. Harmony got the... Oh, we still got second. And our first place is... Oh, Elds is out. This is my guild leader who's on my WOC team. Elds Vidadod. We just call him Daddy Dodd. Daddy Doddy. I actually think I can get to 3,500 AGI if I put everything on. Huh. I thought it was 0.7 per level as a stat coefficient there. That does remind me though, I need to level that SE for WOC, because I did focus PvE on that SE level. I got my Eternal Chaos to level 3. Again, my Shadow equipment is nothing to write home about. It's not very impressive, so I'll show it to you. But I am going to level my Arrow Vulcan there. That's really interesting. 3550 is all you need for 100% vitality reduce in 2 hits. So maybe I was reading it wrong. Oh yeah, dude. EC, like, look right now, you got EC and Battle Drum, right? If you configure right with the Clown, you can do both. Like, they're both up at this very moment. And so that's a 60% buff to P attack for everyone on my team, plus 130% final P damage bonus. If it was up the whole time, let's see here. And that's why we got first. That's why we just beat a bunch of whales, right? It's just having both of those buffs up. And don't get me wrong, Lucifer hits hard. Harmony still hits. Sharpshooter's a hard hitter. But no one in our team right now, I need to check your stats, Woo. Maybe you are a Kraken. But I think no one in this team right now is like as big of a Kraken as Eldsvid or several people who are boss hunting, right? And it's because you have that full buff the entire time. I think that's it for our run. No golds today, but it's all right. Just stay consistent and they come. Kind of cool. I'll show you guys this. So boss hunts here. I won't show you exactly how much I've spent. It's kind of private, right? I don't care. It's probably like, I don't know. I'm probably close to like 600,000, 650,000 diamonds. Yeah, I'd say about that. Like, if I had saved all my money so far, I maybe could have got the cheapest Orc Hero card that's been out there. But yeah, look, so almost 3,350 MVPs. At this point, it's close to like 3,400. I can tell you the first 1,500 MVP and minis, I didn't get one gold drop. Oh yeah. For sure. Send him a heart. Here's Brush. This is somebody on my team. This is a well sniper. Brush is a hard-hitting dude. Anyways, let's just yap for a minute, right? Like, we can talk WOC. Let's finish talking boss hunt drops. So yeah, my first 1,500, 0 golds. In the last 2,000, I've had closer to, I think I've had 6 drops, 5 of which were gold items, and then 1 gold pet skill, right? Which I love the gold pet skills. Gold pet skills, 1,000 corporate coins, sweet. All right, but yeah, speaking of SE, I appreciate that, because even though it's not strong, I think that we will want this. Okay, so yeah, let's look at this. I thought that here, that it was stacking based on, like, I thought it was just reducing VIT by a number of vitality. I didn't know it was reducing VIT by a percentage here. So at 3,550, I would think that that's gonna reduce their VIT by like 50 points, right? Are you saying this is reducing their VIT by, this is percentage? I mean, I've been using it, so like I'm not like missing out big time, but like that is insane if it is. Because what if somebody's got like 3,000 VIT? Well, I was about to level this anyways. You guys can be with me for this roll. I need to double check my validations though. Let's see what I got. I might need to downgrade a few. I usually don't like to downgrade these. Because my thought is like one day, right? In 2 years, I'll have enough materials to actually use my stuff. But I think WOC is a good time to actually make the push. Do we have any more? No, we're out of it. All right, we're gonna have to downgrade. Do we have any validation 3s, or did they sell? See, I'll sell something before I'll downgrade it, just because of the value lost. Let's see, maybe they're in EC. You guys can see. So yeah, I bought 1 pack of diamonds today. That was a big prepping for WOC. Wow, that's incredible, Lavelia. That is incredible. I'm gonna get that leveled up ASAP. But yeah, we got a Nightmares today. That was big. Shout out Joey Free to Play, my boy. He already has like 5, I think, so he could sell 1. Oh, you can't see the rest. We've gotten pretty lucky with some drops recently, but let's see. Maybe I've got there are my validation 3s. I'm gonna have to use them. I want to level that right now, actually, because even if my AGI is only like 400, 450, it still can be pretty effective. And I'm fighting Krakens that have a ton of vitality. So, all right, so let's dismantle. Let's double check. I think we needed 14. 11. We need 11, so you need to dismantle 6. All right, let's hope this hits. Oh, it's 100%. Yeah, I hope it hits. It's 100%. Yeah, and honestly, that's the only way I'm doing damage right now is with a Vital Burn or this skill. So, I'm still far away from rolling 6 here. Having failed twice, it's not the funnest. But yeah, we'll get that leveled up. Oh, hey, Yi, what do you get? Or Ye's in our, that's Crystal. That's a Crystal prize, right? Let's see. Ecstasy of Gold. I don't even know if that's still selling. I hope it is. CAD X Beto. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna spend the rest of this video, y'all can tune in, but I use the recordings of these for YouTube videos. So I think I'll spend the rest of the video talking about builds in general, right? So, and the difference between talismans. So Lavetia, this is probably gonna be a review for you. It'll be a little bit boring, but but I wanna hit it because this is my most common question on any YouTube video I put out. And for it, I think I will go into kind of the build that I'd want to display. And let's see. I won't. I'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make this switch. It's a little time consuming, but we'll make this switch. We're going to talk about the Vitality Gypsy build plus purple talismans in general. And yeah, if you have tips too, like I'll take all the tips, man. I don't have a monopoly on ideas for the Gypsy build. The Gypsy is crafty. Like using traps was something I would have never thought of until I saw that mobilize, and I was like, hey, that works as like a enhanced debuff. Like, let's do some traps. And then I have a friend on my team named Pika, and he ran it and he really liked it. So. All right, now let's get the accessories. We run 1 blue accessory. Blues are the way to go for sure. I actually kind of wish I was running 2 blues. I'm running a blue and a gold, but that's going to be a problem at some point because no elite slot. Yeah. I'm actually okay with it being immobilized, even though your snipers can still hit. I think their thought was, we're gonna make it a little weaker, right? They're gonna make it a stun instead of an immobilize, and I'm super glad they made it immobilize because everyone runs stun resistance. So making it an immobilize, like people can be rocking like 3 orc heroes, which there are a couple people who rock multiple orc heroes, and you can still immobilize them. So I think that's awesome. Yeah, for real. I appreciate it. Everyone was saying to nerf Gypsy, and they tried. But, all right, let's switch to... I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So this is the build I'm running tonight for WOC. Go ahead. If you're fighting me, you can prep for it, whatever. I don't care. The only way someone could really prep to fight a Gypsy is by putting a bunch of debuff resistance on. If you put a bunch of debuff resistance on, your trade-off is going to be your armor is going to be weaker, and so you have to make that call depending on who you're fighting. It could be worth, to be honest, to put some debuff resistance on if you're tied down the entire match. I don't think my team has enough CC to tie everyone in fits the entire match, but there is a team that goes 2 gypsies on my server, and against them, I would definitely run debuff like resist if that was my main goal, was to just to be that team. So, all right. On your weapon slot for like a vitality support gypsy build, I gotta be concise here. I'll use this for a YouTube video later. So for the vitality gypsy build, we'll start off with what you're running on each of these slots in the enchant. Right off the bat, you'll see we are running full Vit, right? Vit accessories, Vit talisman, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're running Vit enchants on everything. So on your weapon, you're going to want PvP debuff enhancement and PvP debuff penetration. If you are just starting out and you want to have effectiveness with debuffs right away, you can use the ROX enchant here. The ROX enchant, you can spam it a bit more. You can go for purple and gold, and that's going to be closer to like 25-30%. The issue with that is the translation to PvP for debuffs is not 0.6 like it is for damage. It's 0.2. So a 30% debuff penetration from ROX is only going to get you 6% debuff penetration over into PvP. So this is one that it sucks, it's expensive, but if you want to go full sup, you're going to want the PvP debuff enhancement and penetration. There's debate as to whether you want 2 debuff enhancement or 2 debuff penetration. It depends on who you're fighting. It depends on if you can meet a certain threshold based on the opponent's shadow equipment level and what they're putting on their armor, right? Debuff enhancement is going to make your stuns last longer, or your immobilized last longer. Debuff penetration is going to make sure that they hit to begin with. So that's what we're running on our weapon. As for cards, just really quick, you'll see it's all medium-sized damage. I think there could be better cards out there, so I'm not going to say these are the best, but I just run demi and medium-sized. You're not going to be doing a ton of damage anyways, to be honest. For armor slots, this one, I'll tell you my go-to, and it's full Geffins at the moment. I would also recommend having full demi-human that you can use as well, depending on what's prevalent on your server. One might be better than the other. I'm not super versed in the entire global world is Lude or Southgate, and so I'm just assuming final P damage is the right go-to here. Not really getting melted by wizards at this point in the game, so I'm full final P damage. With one, you can see here HP 5, and that is important because as you get higher health, the HP regen becomes more and more effective. So all of my armor is focused on final P damage, and I just have 1 HP 5. As for cards, I don't think a CC'er should be CC'd, so I run a Mark card on my armor. I run a demi-human damage reduction on my manto, and I run an Edga, which is another debate that I won't dive into because of the max HP percentage. I did not build this Edga. I got lucky on one Gasha roll and got an Edga card, so that was big for me. And I do run it because I don't like to be CC'd myself as I'm trying to CC others. As for your accessories, this requires quite a bit of testing. It's an it depends answer. I find that I prefer full vitality enchants. So yeah, the Edgar card's great. I prefer full vitality. You can run 2 other enchants here that I think are meaningful. Besides vitality or vitality percentage, you can run a crit reduce enchant, or you can run medium damage reduce from Peons. It just depends on what opponents you're facing. I have fought multiple opponents that have Drake cards that penetrate any medium resist, and so I shy away from medium resist on the accessory, but there are some servers that haven't even picked up on that yet. So if that's the case, like, you should run medium damage reduction here. and it'll make you even tankier. For me, I just wanted more vitality, so I waited until I could roll at least blue on all of the Pront Raw. Eventually, when I get enough vitality, I will probably turn these into vitality percentages. I just don't think I'm there quite yet. So, and then yeah, for cards, you can see I run a Wormtail along with a Mark, and then I run 2 OBs. There are variations to cards. I'm not going to say this is the best setup, but this is my preferred setup for the team I'm facing tonight, and most other teams I face as well. Yeah, so that is the full support Gypsy. This build, it fits in so well in team play, both GBG and arcade. It works really well. You can see, looking at my WOC team, I mentioned this in chat as well, but I am by far the lowest spender. Oh yeah, I need to show headgear too. I'll do that. I'm by far the lowest spender on my team. And I have a lot of utility. Like, I'm still in the starting 5 on most matchups because of the amount of sustain I have and the CCA I have. So my team, the team comp, we have a red, Crash, a great priest, Minchi, a creator, Kraken creator, Hansei-Q, really strong damage whiz. This is like if we need to take advantage of low magic, of a team that doesn't have any magic damage reduction, and I can CC. This is our damage dealer for those teams. Lokarn, super tanky, super strong Whitesmith. He's going to be a boss when he's a mechanic too. Bo Rogue, Sana, also a YouTube streamer. You may have watched him as well. Baller. And our guild leader, Elzvedad, who is our cross assassin. Pretty much, I mean, he's actually pretty damn tanky, but he focuses on damage as well. For headgear, okay, so my headgear is not, I'll just tell you this, it's not optimal at the moment. Like, there's a change I'd like to make to it. But you're gonna run anything with demi-human damage reduction. So that's gonna be your spiked mask, your masquerade, which has demi-human damage, bonus damage, and then your Barret. So I think ideally, when you're approaching 4 mil HP, Nightmare cards are the way to go, right? I think the sweet spot for HP regen is probably 10 to 20%. 20 to 40%, I think, is the sweet spot. I'm just definitely not there yet. So ideally, I'm running 3 Nightmare cards here. Instead, for now, I've got 1 Nightmare. I've got 1 Varret, which this is a 6% HP boost. Don't care as much about the SP percentage boost. And then I'm running a Marduk for the silence. I actually would prefer to run another Varret here, and I could afford it. But all of my free time right now is trying to get an additional Nightmare card. And so for now, I would love to run 2 Nightmares with a Varret. And let's say you have 6 headgear slots. Okay, run 5 Nightmares, right? That's like your go-to for this build. The beauty of the support build, if you're new to Gypsy, is the amount of healing that you do. It's not like you look at this and you think like, oh, 4 mil HP, that's kind of tanky. The 4 mil HP is deceptive. It's tankier than it looks, is all I will say. Right now, I am out healing our priest, who is one of the biggest Krakens on the server, with my Gypsy build. When it comes to support and we talk skills, this is what makes the Gypsy build tanky. Yeah. Yep, I agree, Lavidia. 40% HP 5 would be huge, right? It's going to take a while to get there. Got to win the Baffle event to get an extra slotted headgear on the face. Got to get lucky on boss hunts to get an extra slotted headgear on the head, unless you're going to buy it. But for now, rock as many Nightmares as you can. Lared's Dew is where your tankiness comes from for a support Gypsy. And you can see here, the wording is kind of weird, but This is going to reduce your damage taken, so it's a damage reduction skill, and restore 20% of your lost HP every 4 times you're attacked. So like, this means that 20% of your HP is just going to be coming back. And it's massive healing, not just for you, but for your team, right? So you're improving the sustain and healing your entire team with this skill. 30 meters is a really big range. Like, that's almost the entire WOC map. And so as long as they're not on the completely opposite side of the map, they're getting affected by this skill. If you're in a, like, this is also why Joey free-to-play and Valitech are so freaking tanky, because it's not only the 30 and 20% for them, but then you can see every other bard in the class is going to increase damage reduction by 8%, increase healing by 4%. So if you have if you have a tanky clown and you have a tanky gypsy in a party, it's GG's. Like, that's so hard to kill. If you have a priest too, like, good luck, right? And that's why I have so much belief in Groot for this tournament, because they're running Valitech, who's one of the hardest to kill clowns in the world. Joey, the hardest to kill gypsy in the world. Adeline is their starter. Vit is 5,000 when she's in PvP, and then some of the two highest damage dealers as well, Foamy and Neps. So GG's to anyone playing them. But yeah, that's I think the key aspects of the support gypsy, and then there's flavor on top of that, right? You've got obviously the wink skill. I keep it at level 1, by the way. Yep, I keep it at level 1 because so it can get haste reduced. Then your next most important skill is going to be your charge shot. You do want that at level 10. The immobilize on that is 3.5 seconds. But again, with debuff enhancement, that will basically double. We stopwatched it. It maxes out, I think, at 7 seconds with a debuff enhanced charge arrow. That's not able to be stun resisted, right? So it's really hard for anyone to dodge this unless their debuff reduction is just that high. And then the other flavor to this, the other CC you can, are these traps. This is definitely lesser known. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, to be honest. We'll start with the freeze trap, right? The freeze trap, I'll even lay a few of these out as we wait. The freeze trap is great because if you have a team that's running a ton of stun resist, but no freeze resist, that's going to hit. It says it hits 50% of the time. That's before any sort of reduction on top of it. So it's not going to hit 50% of the time usually. Maybe it hits closer to 25% of the time. But this is what I do. Yeah. Oh, interesting, you. Good call. I won't say anything as I look at this, but I do want to look at it. Okay. I mean, that's going to be probably just the reflect, to be honest. I don't think the other two mean much to him. Hey, what's up, Jay? Jay, dude, talk to me. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about War of the Chosen? I think you guys got a pretty fun bracket. You're in bracket 2, right, Jay? Yeah, we keep it at level 1 because it can't get haste reduced. So we're going to go level 1 wink here. So the haste reduction keeps it, keep that cooldown as low as possible. And if you look at it, there's no change in, like, it's a damage. Oh, yeah. Yep, Lavetia, you nailed it. Haste restrict would be my third skill. I'm toying with haste restrict as my third skill. It should be. I've talked about it. Like, the stack of that with Remember Me is pretty insane. But yeah, that's why I go level 1 wink, Jay. And then, because the time isn't changing, so then you're just not getting haste reduced on that. And yeah, in the full support Gypsy build, I'm not doing damage. That's like just so far away from what the goal is, right? Back to the traps just really quick. So we talked about freeze. I think this is a great trap. I spam it whenever my charge arrow and my wink are down. But I'm not gonna prioritize this one. If I had to prioritize one of the traps, it actually would probably be the other immobilize. And this is where, like we're talking about Levedia, this is what completes the trap house build. And you can talk to Sana about this too, Jay. Like, Sana's been one of my main testers for this build and for other builds. It's really hard to escape a Gypsy when they have 2 immobilized skills, 1 free skill, and wink on top of that. So that's my play. I'm transparent about it. I don't think anyone's too scared of our team. I don't think we're going to win it all, but I think we've got a good shot at making a pretty decent run towards the quarterfinals. So I need to watch your stream today. I would love to think what you're thinking about the tournament. I don't think enough people watch me that I'm really that. Yes, Jay, you may have missed it, and I apologize. But I think JoJo is a sleeper pick for a lot of people, because that's exactly what it is, right? That's exactly what it is I feel like y'all's fight is going to be determined in the first 5 seconds of every round, on how to get her locked down. You have a Gypsy on your team, right, Jay? How's the Gypsy built? Are they full support, or are they just 2 vitality accessories? I'll wait and see. I would love to help you. I don't know anyone on JoJo's team. Okay. So that's a great start. I want to tell you something, but I don't want anyone else to know it. So I think you got me on Discord, maybe. If you could PM me there, I've got like a small tip that may help you. I don't know if it's going to be the secret. I haven't looked at JoJo's team. Like, I haven't played JoJo's team enough. We've played them in cross-server KVM. Yeah. It's what's your Gypsy's HP? Yeah, PM me. I've got an idea. It's an idea that I'm trying with another team that's got like a similar comp to what you got going on. But JoJo's definitely a problem. I'll respond. Oh yeah, just search my name. Just search my YouTube name here. The suggestion that I have for Jay, it's not like an earth-shattering revelation. Yeah, JoJo's huge. Like, look at these stats on JoJo, and wrong bunny. Almost 2,900 decks with a Whispering Demon 1, right? So you got the extra card slot there. Lunatic Brooch 3, Cursed Longbow 1. Vitality at 850. Yeah, this is a problem right here. I mentioned earlier, I don't think JoJo's not a glass cannon. JoJo's a tank. So this is their Gypsy. I would assume their Gypsy's gonna go Vit too. I don't know, the Strauth is kind of a barrier to entry for a lot of full support Gypsies right now. Interesting choice there. Unless they have both this and they could have this and the jump rope. Maybe. S Coco. Anyways, yeah, that's going to be your biggest challenge for sure. And I think you guys can do it. You know, jump rope is expensive, Lavetia, but I think it's the most worth, like, if there's anything that I spent money on that's worth it, I really recommend the gold jump rope. And it's because the cooldown effect, and it's only going to get better, right? So, like, for me, when I boss hunt, did you try searching my name, JTV? It should just be, make sure you put a 3 instead of the E. I honestly would jump over there, but yeah, Dance with Wolves will be huge. Save your diamonds, do it. Like, you know, save for 2 months, buy it for 60k diamonds, whatever you need, because the jump rope, the cooldown reduction effect, and then obviously we need to tier it. That's the most expensive part of the jump rope. It's not just the diamonds. It's getting it to tier 3 is, I think, 22 million crystals. I'm just gonna farm it myself. But the 16% cooldown reduction, which at tier 3 becomes 22%. That's huge for chaos. That's huge for wink. Whenever my wink resets in PvP, it's like, it's glorious. It's the best. If I can wink 2 or 3 people, yeah, if I can wink 2 or 3 people and then my wink is on cooldown 3 seconds later and I can just wink them again, oh, it's amazing. And having a creator, like a whale creator on my team, like, that's just like wink NATO supreme right there. So yeah, Jay, give me a little bit. Yeah, I'll accept it in a bit. I'm streaming from my phone right now, and my work computer doesn't have Discord on it. So give me a little bit. Once I'm done with stream, I'll send you my thought for like how you could open the match, or your gypsy could. I haven't tried it yet versus the team that I want to try it against, because as soon as I do it, I think there's counters to it. So okay, so that's pretty much the support gypsy. Like, I'll go through just like detailed on stream here. I'll go through kind of why I have things as I have them. So for skill slots, you'll see like, why is this skill first and why are you prioritizing the freeze there? Like, I actually cast all of my CC skills. Yeah, I think you're right, Jay. What's up, Rave? Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope we face you guys. Who knows, man? There's always a chance someone wells out right before they face you, right? And that person's not gonna be me. so we'll see. But I really hope we face you guys, Rave. That'd be a fun match, because like, okay, first of all, like 3 months ago, we could beat Rave Squad and KVM. Ever since then, they've freaking trounced us. But then even with this WOC team, you guys rocked our WOC team day 1. And then day 2, I couldn't play in WOC, and neither could Elds. And so that was a bad day. I like jumped on and we went from like 5th rank to like 17th rank. And then day 3 was a freaking climb. We did get super lucky with matchmaking, but we didn't lose day 3. And we're able to climb up and just barely sneak in to that 1600 gold tier, which was awesome. And then I was a dummy and spent all my medal badges on Geffen and Chance. So I just have a few left for betting tonight. But Rave, what's your favorite pick? Do you have any tips for me on your favorite pick for tonight? There's a couple that I saw earlier, 83-17. You got 69-31 here. Like, there are a couple that are almost 50-50. I'd love to know your thoughts. Both you too, Jay. Y'all way more educated than me, noob streamer, on the matchups for tonight. This one is actually too bad, because I really like Overkill Squad. I actually think Overkill Squad is pretty underrated. guys are just pretty big. Soda. So then they're going to run one of these priests. No bongs. Zet is big. I like Overkill's squad a lot. I just don't think... I don't know if they got the DPS. Well, they got Alpha. Alpha hits so hard. Harvey hits hard too. But I think their starting 5 they'll go with Ali Wen, Pining. I don't know. That'll be an interesting one. What's your team, Lavetia? Lavetia, let's just say that you're just throwing round 1. You know, just that's why if you do lose, that's why you're going to lose, because you're playing the game. Oh, yeah, you're fighting 360. Yeah, Zukido in squad. Yeah, it's going to be rough. Nice. Solid build. I like the purple talisman. I preach purple talisman to gypsies for sure. I have all 3. I don't know if I need the AGI talisman. I still use it for boss hunts though, or for Bafo event for max EC. Do you know if Gamma runs full sub? Yeah. Oh, I have AGI %. I still run AGI %. I run AGI %. Even when I have a penetration talisman. So. Oh, looks like our app shut down. Give it a second. It's the cons of streaming from a phone. Yeah, you gotta aim big for your wink. You're against Clown Gypsy round 1, Jay? I wasn't worried about you guys round 1 at all. Yeah, oh, for sure. You're right. 1442, you never know. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I played these guys. I mean, you can never take a round just like totally for granted, right? Like, you don't want to go in there half-hearted. You definitely want to play it as if they're hiding something. But I think you're going to be okay here. Oh, we got 2% bet on Delicious. Oh, yeah? Valhalla's team. Wait. I don't think Lavetia... This isn't Valhalla's team, right? Is it? I haven't checked all the names yet. This is G-Dragon. Because you're on server... Mjolnir. And we're talking about group 2. Oh, yeah. No, I think you're right. They're on your server. Yeah, Valhalla. You're right. What do you think, Lavetia? Are they hiding something here? 1 second, guys. I'm just checking out another stream real quick. You only have purple bow, Jay? You only have purple bow? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Level 70 purple bow is freaking OP. I think you're gonna be good, Jay. Unless you're the one that put the 2% on their team and you're throwing. If that's the case, you know, PM me, let me know. I'll put all my bets on you. Yeah, easy dub for you. Round 2 is where the rubber meets the road for you guys against Bunny. That's the one. I've played JoJo. Even if I want to throw, I can't. I played JoJo in cross server KPM. Oh, is not Jadang your DPS? I think I saw them go face to face with Bounce in a video a while back. That was pretty fun. That was a fun watch. No, I think that we played JoJo once. And I hit her with a wink. This is with my KVM team, which is not as strong as my WOC team. Hit her with a wink, and we all bursted her and took her down. And then the priest waited for the res. I should have sat her. Went to go somewhere else because someone else had died. Went to go CC someone else. JoJo came back up and melted us all. Because first round, when we played them, we didn't know who JoJo was. JoJo wiped us before we knew who JoJo was. Second round, got a wink. We were able to kill her. And then she got up and killed us all. So yeah, I locked her down. It's just, you just got to catch the first wink. It's all about opening. It's all about opening with JoJo, right? And your Gypsy's got two longer range CC skills. It's going to be Charge Arrow, which you should always lead with Charge Arrow if you're a Gypsy. Let your Gypsy know that. Like, that's your ranged CC. And then it's Wink, right? Because you Charge Arrow, and that immobilizes your opponent. Yeah. Yep. You don't think so? Then your Gypsy needs to improve their. So JoJo's probably SE8. I think at SE8 your debuff resistance is close to, what's that? Close to 40%. So your debuff penetration for your Gypsy has got to be over that mark. So like, if I was facing JoJo, all my Geffen rolls would be going towards getting a second PvP debuff penetration. Because at a certain point, like, JoJo can put as much debuff penetration on herself. Like, maybe she goes, 3 armor lines, but then she's super susceptible to being bursted herself. Oh, but you're good there. Gypsy's, like, I don't care about, yeah, you're good. No, the freeze, Gypsy's best CC is not freeze or stun. Gypsy's best CC is immobilize and wink, which there aren't cards for. Because, like, they nerfed Charge Arrow, which I was super glad they did, and they changed it from a stun to an immobilize. Now, immobilize doesn't mean too much for JoJo because she can still free shoot, but it means a lot if you're getting her into wink range. Yeah, it's not as good, but it's good if your gypsy doesn't die in the first 3 shots. Because you immobilize, and that's max range, right? Like your charge arrow will be able to hit like at the same time that they're able to get shot as a sniper. But it's what the gut reaction for a sniper is, right? If they get immobilized, is to try and run. So for that 1 second, yeah, that too. Yep, Lavedia's got a good tip there too. So their gut reaction is going to be to run away, and then they're immobilized. So the first like half second, they're still trying to run. Use that half second to either run away, like Lavedia is saying, or close the distance for a wink. And you're right, there's going to be a tank check on your gypsy. If they're focused, there's going to be a check where do they have enough sustain to get the wink off? And do they have enough debuff enhancement at that point to make sure the wink lasts the full period of time? Because wink still can be shortened. I've seen wink shortened. So that's why on weapon, I definitely recommend when you're playing whales, debuff enhancement and penetration. You don't do any damage. Like, you got to give that up as a support gypsy, right? Like, it's not important. Your focus, your main thing is the debuff. And so it's a balancing act too, because if you go too much penetration, then the enhancement isn't as good. If you go too much enhancement, then it never hits to begin with. But yeah, those are my thoughts on, and then I'll PM you my other thought for JoJo. Been yapping so long, we might have an MVP or two. Let's see. No, we still got a little bit of time. All right, so yeah, so just talking about skills really quick. I have them set up because I manual cast these first 4 skills. I manual cast Lyrids too. You spam that as frequently as you can. But then I'm auto casting my other skills. So the only, I think, and I appreciate your thoughts here too, Lavedia, but the only downside I have Remember Me as an auto cast is a second, my last skill here on the bottom line. Sometimes that doesn't proc as frequently as I'd want it to, but I still like the Severe Rainstorm to be prioritized there, because with the 1 point in Elemental, you still get slow with the water arrows. So that's, I don't know, my one thing that I haven't liked about this build so far, and I need to look at skill rearrangement, is potentially putting, oh, Adelaide's still rolling. Oh, that's Adelaide, not Adeline. Okay, we're good. I run a 14. Okay. Yeah, add me on Discord, Lavidia. Like, just use my name here as well. Send me a friend request. I'd love to see your bar, right? Your 8 skills here. I won't run Ensemble. I don't have any clowns that I KVM with or WOC with. Yeah, I'm down, Jay. I'm down. Honestly, it's just like, this game isn't, like, it's all about the setup, I would say. And then it's just like positioning. Yeah, I think Ensemble, I think that, like I said, like the top team in the world right now has a clown and a gypsy on it, right? It buffs Lyrids do, which increases healing towards the whole team. I've tested it. Yeah, let me switch builds for you. So this is my, I think I've got Wink 10 on my, yeah, so here, I'll show you the difference right here. So the reason I don't run Wink higher, Jay, look here, so attacks enemies in the designated area, 280% P attack with an 80 AGI multiplier. So on any of my AFK or BH, that I do use Wink on, I will put Wink at level 10. The move speed is 5 seconds. It's a 3-second charm, right? Now, so this is level 10. Let's switch back to level 6 here. Or sorry, my 6th loadout here, where it's level 1. Look at the skill. The most important parts of it, the CC aspects, don't change at all. So the only thing that changes is I don't do any damage with my Wink. But look at my build. You think this build's doing any damage? It's not doing any damage, right? Vital Burn is doing the most damage out of anything. Like my pet is, right? And so I keep it level 1 because like a month or two ago, I was in arcade and Privacy started to run a bunch of haste restrict. And so, or if you're fighting a Gypsy that runs Remember Me, right, which the Remember Me skill is a haste reduction skill, our final haste reduction. And all of a sudden your cooldown on Wink jumps to 8 seconds. You become just a sitting duck because you can't do your main CC, right? So it's not a huge difference, but I keep it at level 1 so that the haste restriction is not an issue. Now, is it still an issue for my other skills? Yeah, but Wink's my most important, and I need Larids do at 10 because I prefer the multiplication there. I keep it at 10, even though my cooldown, like, you know, the advice I give is always like, your green number should always match your blue number. I'm banking on my gold whip for Larids do. This is like one of the skills that I am banking on my cooldown reduction over that 30-second cooldown period, because the fixed cooldown is still 20 seconds. Yeah, agreed, Lavetia. So even though you're not, because my haste sucks when you max Vit. When I max AGI, I don't need any sort of haste on me. When I max Vit, it's like, yeah, I could definitely use a Zeron, but I'm not going to use that slot. Like, I'm going to use that slot for an OB or a Wormtail for sure. All right, we've been chatting for a while. I'll be really quick. I'll go into my other builds. And let's see. I think I've got AA tonight, so I don't think I'm actually going to make the swaps. Actually, I'll make a swap for you, Lavetia, because you were talking about like maxing AGI. The max AGI build, I think, is important for boss hunts. And for like Bafo instance. We were so close on the Bafo instance, Jay. Joey's team, oh, they crushed us, Jay. I think they came close to the Islud server mark. They could have gone higher too, in my opinion. I think they ended up with 178,000 on Bafo. I'll fact check that in a second. We were at 160,000. But yeah, maxing AGI can be big for maxing Chaos. Plus, you do get your own damage as well, obviously, the more you max AGI. So give me a second here. I gotta focus in on these swaps. Bafo instance made me finally take the dive on Odin's. I don't really love spending crystals on PvE, but it is what it is. All right. Yeah, I think that I heard that in a future update, there might be an enhancement to swaps, which will be really fun. At least card swaps, I've heard, which is great because to get Edgar out of these boots, like 10k a pop. Oh, yeah, I only do that for Bafo and like a sweaty run, or a trial illusion like a sweaty run, because I don't want to pay 20,000 a pop. Good, Jay. Your Gypsy should be Vit build. With how much damage they have around them, do they have Core of Strouth, or are they still rocking the AGI? That's actually a big question for you guys as you face JoJo. Chorus Strauf is going to make your Gypsy like 3 times as tanky. Sweet. That's a big deal. The last time you played JoJo, yeah. Chorus Strauf is freaking expensive, and the only reason I could get it Lavetia is because I don't know if I should admit this. So I got a few elite card drops. I got 3 elite card drops in 3 days. They got me like 2.6 million crystals. And then I bought the cheapest packs. There may have been a glitch, so I bought the cheapest packs on the Golden Gala. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about that glitch. I don't know if I should belabor it or not, but and those packs got me 1 jackpot. So I got 2 million crystals for my jackpot on Golden Gala, and sold those 3 cards, and I had enough for Chorus Strauf just like a week ago. So that's been a huge improvement. So my guess is, Jay, is that your Gypsy didn't have that the last time you fought JoJo. It'll make a big difference. Like the hardest hitting sniper on my server probably needs, I'm trying to like be realistic here. I don't know. Rave could tell you too. Bounce still hits me freaking hard. Okay, it'll make a difference. And I think with 3-piece Vit, I don't think they're gonna die in the first 2 shots. They're probably close to like 4 mil HP. I'd be at 4.5 mil HP if I wasn't wearing, or I'd be at 4.5 mil HP if I didn't have Edga. Now no Edga means that they will get knocked back, but that's what you're immobilized. Maybe your opening is an immobilized runaway. Yeah, have the Gypsy sit JoJo once JoJo's dead, because y'all know the res is coming, right? If like at that point it's a 5v4, or it's, just make it a 4v4. Make the Gypsy just sit on JoJo. Yeah, so when it comes to, I think this is my build. Oh, nope, I haven't changed everything yet. Give me a second. Just gotta change my talisman, I guess. I mostly use the pen talisman for AFK, Lavetia. If you've got the AGI talisman and that's the only purple you have, it still is good for AFK. It still is good for some DPS, but ultimately, when I do my video, you'll see the DPS tests with a pen talisman are better. I also just got super lucky with that drop, so that, like, I don't know if it's worth 4.2 million for a Gypsy right now, but it is your highest DPS talisman. I'm missing something. Oh, I don't have enchants on it? Give me a second. I'm missing some enchants. Yeah, and then you got humming on top of that, Lavetia. Like, it's big. I can get my final pen to about 200% right now. Not final pen, my total penetration. And that's where you get the double damage. But again, I don't think, is Laird's Do good, Jay? Laird's Do is amazing. Laird's Do is yes. Yeah, Lavetia, you take over chat. Laird's Do is life. Like, if you ever play Valitech and Joey, and you're like, why do these guys have like 70% HP regen on them? Don't get me wrong, they're rocking like 3 or 4 nightmares, but it's Laird's Do. I heal more than my priest, Minchi, like probably a top 3 priest in the world. Like Laird's Do still you will heal more. Sorry, I'm not focused here. Let's flex, because I've got several of these. So with a bard, it enhances the skill J. So let me show you the skill description. So this is at 0. At level 10, times all of these numbers by 10. So you'll get a 30% damage reduction for your entire team. You'll get 20% of the the teammate's lost HP. Yeah. Every 4 times that they're attacked. So that's 20% of your lost HP healed. And then that increases with a bard in your. So if you have a bard in the party as well, their healing will be increased by. It's not 3.5%. I think it's 8%. Is that right? I have it on my other. I'll swap again. Yeah, here. 8% and 4%. Yeah, that's right. If you have a bard on the squad, so it makes you tankier. But the only reason you'd want to run with a bard and a gypsy is because you need a priest too. So those are 3 of the 5. Is if those other 2 are really strong DPS. So like you and Jadang, I don't know how you pronounce it, but you 2 running together, like as huge DPS with a bard gypsy priest combo would be pretty insane. I think it'd be pretty insane because you got and the bard does great CC too, right? Really good slow. Like they've got good CC. I would say not quite as strong as a gypsy, but they also can be tankier if they're not an ensemble. They can be running Apple of Iden, which is giving them way higher HP. So yeah, I think that that's why the Valitech Joey combo is so lethal. Because they have Neps and Foamy as DPS there too. Okay, let's swap back. Just want to show Lavetia this quick, but yeah, I go max AGI here. Still, I think I'm missing an enchant somewhere, but this one's not my best. Whatever, it's fine. So this is my BH setup, or my. I'm missing a card. That's what it is. For Trial Illusion, I'll run something like this to get AGI above 3,500. Like you were saying, that's actually really big for Arrow Vulcan, so it could be interesting for a DPS build as well. But this is like my max AGI. Like, let's boost my team as much as we can build. And you lose about 10%, I think it was, or 8% if my AGI were to go lower. So I can, with my pen talisman, my AGIs fluctuates, 2,000 to 2,300 depending on my weapon enchant. And you just make that call based on, do you need to be the DPS with your team, or are you like a semi-support with really big whales hitting, which is usually what happens in Trial Illusion. So, and don't mind my my poor refines. Had some bad luck, and I didn't push past the bad luck to the good luck yet. It will come. Maybe I just need Jay, I'll give you my login. You can log onto my account and Oh, that sucks, Lavetia. I've refined my weapon to get it to +5. I had to refine it at +3 32 times. Because I downgraded it from +4 to +3 4 times. And on one of those instances, it took me 13 clicks to get back to +4. So, woof. I did the math once, and I was like, I could have bought an Orc Hero card. Yeah, maybe. Gypsy maybe deserves to be cursed, though. Everyone hates Gypsy, and yeah, it's fine. Anyways, yeah, so I need to do a video. Maybe I'll even talk, like, yeah, I need to do a video about these 3 different talismans. I think the punchline is, like, I'm a big advocate of the purple talisman for the Gypsy. Best in slot for support Gypsy is definitely your Core of Strauth Vitality. Best in slot for DPS is going to be your Crown of Night Spirit, but a Crown of Osiris works well too, if either you can't afford it or, yeah, at this point it's you can't afford it, but for the longest time it was just you were stuck in a pre-order on the Crown of Night Spirit. And then I still think there's utility to the AGI talisman, the Amber of Strauth. This is, in my opinion, a stepping stone, so I call it the semi-support talisman, to a full support or to a full DPS. Because again, I still think there's examples of DPS gypsies out there that slap. They just don't slap as hard as like a DPS sniper or a DPS rogue bow, or yeah, like bow rogue. Like I think there are better DPS classes than Gypsy, but I'll show you an example of a good DPS Gypsy. But he's good, he's a whale, and he's still at this point is probably going to go support. Let's see. Give me a second. One thing that sucks about being a support Gypsy is you can see my GVG score here. 12 and 6. I went from like 100 kills every GVG as a DPS to 12. The 6 deaths, by the way, I'm proud. I think all 6 of those were to Foamy. So that's my, those are my battle scars. I might have passed him already. I got distracted. Oh, here he is. Knights. So this guy, yeah, yep. This guy is actually a pretty good example of a DPS Gypsy. You can see here that, so my AGI when I'm rocking a pen talisman is anywhere from 2100 to 2350, and his AGI is 2630 while he's got a pen talisman on it. So ultimately, like, I think of Knights when I think of a good example of a DPS Gypsy. Like, Knights hits hard, and the nice thing about Gypsy DPS is it's AoE, so you're going to get a lot of kills. Knights maybe didn't get as many. He still got a ton, right? 36 and 2 this last GVG. He's not getting as many because he's fighting our top stack as well. Like, when you go up to the top of our GVG, you'll see these people with like hundreds of kills. A lot of them were not in the main fight, right? So like, they're not fighting the uninstall privacy battle usually. So not that I guess I am kind of discounting their kills, but not that they aren't strong. They're still really strong. And this shows you how strong Neps is, right? Neps is in the fight with our best players, and he has 181 kills. Dude's insane. Bounce is the same. Bounce still jumps around with top players and can get 120 kills, but usually Gato isn't in the middle of the privacy uninstall fight. Yeah, Lavetia, if you see Neps when it comes to cross-server GVG, I'm telling you right now, get out of there. Get out of there right away. Like, you might think like, oh, I'm gonna land a wink on him. Like, what's that gonna do? He's just gonna come out of the wink and he'll one shot the first person who's next to him. So my goal right now is to be able to take 3. Yep. My goal right now is to take 3 hits from Neps. That's like my next metric of success. That's what keeps me going. Right now, if I'm lucky, I survive 2. But I need to be able to survive 3. Because then I can at least immobilize, run away, wink. Probably, like, if I don't think my immobilize can hold him for the full, like, person with the least debuff resistance, like, mobilize holds for 7 seconds. Somebody like Neps, who's a total, like, Kraken, my guess is it's going to hold for 2 seconds. Just the amount of, as your SC gets that high to 8 or 9, the amount of debuff resistance that you have, it just goes way up. So anyways, I hope if I'm talking about, like, I don't know who's viewing this. If I'm talking about somebody who's on stream, I got a ton of respect for privacy, a ton of respect for Neps and his squad. They spent well. Like, they're really well built, I think. I know people that have spent a similar amount that maybe not, I don't know, you never know how much someone spends, but I would say there are people who have spent a lot that haven't built as well. And Neps and his entire squad have done an amazing job. So, bunch of respect to them. And then, the semi-support build, I would say is you're still using the AGI talisman. You swap out one of these 2 accessories for vitality. And, or you swap out both for vitality. I did that for a while, Lebedia, until I could afford the Core of Shroud. I just ran with 2 vitality accessories. And the AGI, I mean, it's still helpful, right? Like, with the AGI, you're going to be able to increase your flee or your dodge. So it still will help out quite a bit with LKs, with snipers. Like, the miss rate will go up, but it won't really impact the miss rate against someone like Jay, right? Or against like a really, really strong sniper. Because they probably have their hit up. They might have a Freoni as a weapon, right? Like, a Freoni, I think, is slightly better than an Orc Lady. And so some people will be rocking a free, which increases 50% hit rate too. And at that point, 34-45, you can see my flee right now. It's 223%. Like, they're still hitting me, right? So it's a good stat to have for a support gypsy, but the vitality stat is the better of the 2. Joey is the gold standard for a vitality gypsy right now. Shout out Joey Free to Play. He's been super helpful. Like, when I talk to Joey, he's been super open, helped me with my build, and he pretty much abandons AGI in his vitality build, right? My AGI, I actually still like AGI preferred to Dex in the vitality build because you get haste from AGI just the same amount as Dex, and so I'm like, oh, well, I get the haste and I get the flee. A part of me has even toyed with maybe we go AGI and a bit of int for MDef, but I'm not really getting melted by magic right now, so that might be something for later in the game. You think about int as a 3rd stat, just so you can raise your magic defense a little bit. But yeah, so this is the boss hunt max AGI build, and then finally we'll swap it over, and this is what I'll use for AFK until arcade in a bit. Finally, you've got your pen talisman. If you're watching this and you're like, I can't afford, I'm a gypsy and I can't afford any sort of purple talisman, go with a white pen talisman is my suggestion. We're still in AFK build out, right? Yeah, we are. So This is my AFK build. This is my, like, oh, I just logged on and there's a boss hunt going on, so I'm probably in this build. Still about 2350 AGI. If I'm really looking to do max damage, I need to switch my weapon enchant to a final P damage. There's a part of me, and Levetti, I wonder if you've asked yourself this question. I've done some damage testing. Obviously, people get giggity about going final pen. And, you know, I've got the pen talisman here. I can put, I think I haven't adjusted this yet though. You know, I've got an Eclipse card, which I can use for 10% final pen. You can rock the 240 pen headgear. So I can get my pen to about 200%. So the thought is, oh, you need to balance your DPS with final P damage. I think that's true right now. However, when we reach job level 3 as a gypsy, and you can solo cast your ensemble skills, including chaos, that right there is an automatic 120% final P damage bonus. And so at that point, I think it is better to max P pen. And so ideally, I think you have a weapon that is 3 enchants, final P pen, and another weapon that's 3 enchants, final P damage. And you probably use the final P damage right now in job class 2. And in job class 3, I think we're going to switch to more final P pen because we have the final P damage from Eternal Chaos that we can solo cast. Yeah. That's smart, Levetia. You're smarter than me. I sold all my Cold World archers. I sold 3 of them just because they were in demand and they were close to $1 million, I think, crystals. So I think that's the right call. Like versus my cards, I would do that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, so, and you can get the 2300 pretty easy with a pen talisman. And this is without my hammer goblins too, the plus 240s in the headgear. All right, y'all, I gotta go finish some work before getting to arcade later. So I appreciate y'all watching. We did some boss hunts. Yeah. It's been good chatting with you, Levetia, J2, Marcelli, ขอบคุณที่มาดูนะ ถ้ามีคนไทยมาดูก็บอกด้วยนะ. This is a good chance for me to actually meet some Thai people here in America. I'm from America, but I do speak Thai and some Japanese, so if you speak those languages, holla in chat in the future. I'm gonna log off for now, get some food, finish some work, and then I'll be on later for WOC and AA. So thanks everyone for watching, really appreciate it. I'll work hard to get that video out on talismans soon. Levetia, it'll just be a review for you, that's totally fine. There's like a bunch of people, if you watch my Gypsy Guide video, that's like all people ask about. So of course, add me on Discord. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.